I went on Temu and I bought interesting sewing gadgets. First up, we have this. I don't remember what it is. Oh, bias tape makers. That's cool. I actually didn't know these were included. These are the presser foots to feed it through. It looks like you feed the fabric through here and then you use the awl right here to help like push it through. The smallest one is a 6mm, the biggest one is the 25mm, and then you have 3 sizes in between. It also comes with some little sewing pins to help you out. And there's like a bunch of presser feet. I can't. Okay, so the presser foot has an interesting little guide on it. It has like markers, and then it came with 3 other presser feet, and it looks like they are for different size bias tape. Ooh, okay. Nope, we're just ripping the bag. So 4 different presser feet. This one's the one with the guide, and then these ones don't have markings on them, but they are all swirly and folded on the inside. I'm excited to try these out. So I did a little bit more looking around and digging, and it turns out that these are actually rolled hem feet, but they came with the bias tape makers, so I thought they were for bias tape, but they're totally not. So that was not confusing at all. I watched a few videos on how to do it. They started up here with this, got this part going. You should be able to slide it in here now. You get the front part started, and then you can feed it through a little easier on the foot. And there we go. That actually is very useful and helpful, so I think this part of that package is actually a win. Okay, I'm trying to feed it through this backside. And it says to use the awl to get it through. Oops. And it's not doing what it's supposed to. Okay, well I got it in there. What do I do with it now? I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but this does not feel as easy as it looked in all the listings. It's almost out. The fabric's almost out. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. This is exciting. Okay. Oh, but it's twisted. We finally got it through. So this is the point where you would probably bring in your iron and you would press that down. Once it got in and I was able to feed it through, it goes through just fine. I don't like these. I generally just find it a lot easier to get my bias tape and do the fold and do the fold and then iron and then fold it again and do the iron. That works perfectly fine for me. This just feels unnecessary. Next item. I think it has this self-threading needles in there. So I saw this thing on the Temu's website. These needles are supposedly self-threading. No, they're not. No, they're not. Okay, but look how cute the package is. Is that not adorable? That is so cute. It's got like a little pin cushion on the inside. So when you stick it in there, it's gonna stay in there. So if this thing gets tipped over, they're all gonna just stay in the bottle. Oh my gosh, I just looked at the listing and apparently this literally works like a lipstick. You can actually twist it up and there's the pin cushion. I did not remember that at all. So this is a lot more useful now that I know it can do that. Okay, up next, we have a little sewing kit. I thought this one would be super interesting because I've seen these around before, but I've never actually tried one out. This is a handheld sewing machine. It looks like a stapler, like you just kind of works like a stapler too. So we're just gonna try to sew a line. I'm gonna slide this under. Oh, that just made a hole. That did not sew a single thing. Put the cloth under the fastening plate. Okay, so I'm just an idiot and didn't read instructions. Okay, so I think what it's trying to tell me is that I gotta lift up this plate and put the fabric underneath it. Like so. And now it should work. But is it feeding itself through? Oh, it's working.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Actually, oh my gosh, would this be exhausting? Oh. I pulled it out and the thread is coming undone. So we probably need a pull on that. So we gotta clip that off. I think what we need to do in order to secure the seam after finishing it is pull the loop through on the back side because that'll keep our threads from tugging loose. And then we probably just need to tie it off. Okay, that was actually a really fun experience though. I did not expect expect that to be as fun as it was. And this is the stitching it did right here. So this side I didn't knot this side, so that came unraveled. But when I got through to this side, this is where I tied a knot. So that's the back side, and then that's the front side. So tension could probably use a little bit of adjusting, but I mean, those stitches actually look really good. I'm pleasantly impressed. With this sewing machine, there also came a little toolbox. It's not really a box, it's a can. So inside we've got a pair of scissors. These feel like they are not gonna cut anything. We'll try them on some thread. Can these actually cut? That's a really clean and easy cut. I am very surprised. And it has a measuring tape and lots of thread, a whole canister of needles, and then the needle threader. This thread is also trash. This is like the cheapest stuff that'll fall apart on you at any second. So the sewing machine itself is a win, but I would call the kit it comes with questionable. Okay, next item is they had the most beautiful tools. These look like antique tools, like sewing things that you might have from like your grandma's grandma. But I saw them and I thought they were so beautiful. I just wanted to see if they were actually worth the money or if they would just be kind of like plastic trash. Oh, those are so pretty. Oh my gosh. And they're metal. They're totally metal. I'm so excited about that. Yeah. Okay, so we have a thimble in this and we have, I actually do not know what this tool is. And then some scissors. Let's see if these ones are sharp. Ready, set. Those were such a clean cut. Okay, Temu scissors, dude. I would not have thought about it, but they are rocking it. They are cutting so easy and so quick. Ow, but I think I just stabbed myself. I did not stab myself, but I touched the blade and now I feel like I have a sliver. I can actually see there's a lot of like little metal shavings on it. And I'm pretty sure I just got one stuck in my finger.
Excuse me, it's too much.
This last one is hard to open. This thing could go in there. Maybe it's so that you can like store your pins in it, like your sewing needles or your, probably just needles. I wouldn't think pins because they have the little ball head. Aside from the stupid metal sliver that I just got, I would totally recommend these. These are adorable and I think that they would last a long time because they're metal. The only other question I would have is on the finish. You know how sometimes like if you wear jewelry that's really cheap, it'll turn your fingers green, the plating will rub off? I kind of wonder if these are like that or if they will withstand the test of time. You probably won't use them so much that it would rub off right away. It'd probably take a while. Okay, the next item is, I think this is a cutting mat. Okay, it's basically supposed to have these slits. But most of them actually come like this, where it is just a solid surface. This is the first one I've actually seen like this, where it actually has slits that you could fit a rotary blade in between. Okay, so we have our inches down here and we have our inches right here. If you want to go all the way from end to end, you're gonna need to probably be working with like really small pieces like this, because otherwise you can't cut all the way through. So I would say that this thing is maybe handy if you're a quilter or if you need to make something that's small. This would probably be really useful. This one just depends on what kind of sewing you're doing. So the next item is a hand roller. It's basically supposed to be like finger pressing something open, but instead of using your fingers to hold something open, you just roll it along the seam. We're gonna try this out and see if it's actually worth it or if it's just kind of like an unnecessary tool. I have two little strips here that I sewed off camera, and I'm just gonna finger press one and then I'm gonna roll press the other one, and we're gonna see which one works better. So finger pressing, you just hold the seam open and you push it down a little bit, and there we go, it stays open. So now I gotta open this up. We're gonna try the rolling press on it. Oh my! It's like I finger pressed this, okay? But that rolly press one is actually staying more open than the finger press one. I am very shocked. If you're a quilter, I think this is probably gonna be a really useful tool. Like that stayed open so much better. Like I feel like I probably ironed that yesterday. This I would call a win and probably well worth the money. Next item is, oh, this one is really interesting, but it's so cute. Look at that little bee. It says happy stitching. So this bee, it is supposed to be a magnet so that you can hold your needle. So it seems like a pretty strong magnet. It came with a back. If it's in my hand and I'm holding the bee, it just pops right up. So we got like these pins and I just want to see. Oh yeah, like that. So if you need a spot to quickly put your needles, but you need them to like not drop on the floor, or if you're like hand sewing something, the magnet seems to only be in the bee's upper body. So like this part right here, but it is a pretty strong magnet. Like I would feel confident leaving my needle on there. I would say that this is probably worth it if you're losing your needle a lot. This next item, I'm pretty sure is the self-threading needles. Oh my gosh, they actually look the same. That looks exactly like the other one. Where did it go? Oh my gosh, they're literally the same container. One just came empty and one came with needles. These are kind of really hard to open though. So if you don't have a lot of grip strength, these would not be worth it for you. Look at these. Okay, these are the self-threading needles. I want to show you. There is a little prong on the side right here that you can slip your thread on. I'll try to keep it on the camera. Like that. That was so easy. That was so easy. Then my other question would be, is it easy for it to fall off while you're sewing? We're gonna see if this falls out at any point during this process. Okay. So far, so good. You know, that's also interesting because I would think it would snag on the fabric too, but the spot that it threads onto the needle actually doesn't open up to the fabric. It has an opening, but the spot that catches the thread is on the inside. So this is actually working really slick. I actually love this. This is so cool. I'm gonna call our self-threading needles a huge win because these are so easy to thread and they didn't snag on the fabric and they worked really well. Okay, this next one is a needle threader. It's supposed to thread your needles easy for you. I kind of really like the idea of the self-threading needles that we just looked at, but I wanted to try this one out and see if it also would be convenient. So it came with some needles. I got 5 needles here. It came with instructions. Okay, I totally read that. I have no idea what it said. Okay, I'm just trying to do what the picture says to do, but I don't understand what is even happening here. Oh, okay. That worked. It gave me 2 strands on each side, but I got it to work. This was way more complicated than it ever should have been. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to put it in the side like so, with the pointy end out and slide it all the way down, and then you're gonna wrap your thread around it. So you put it between there like that, and I just pulled these off to the side here and let it sit loose while I pushed this knob over. And the first time I did it, it put the thread all the way through. Oh, there it goes. So the thread came through right here, and now I just pulled it a little bit to keep it from falling off the needle, and then I pulled the needle out. That didn't work. So I'm gonna do this again. Thread it through. That worked. Pull it, and no. This has not worked enough times that I think that this thing is probably not worth it. It was really hard to figure it out just because the instructions weren't super clear, and based upon the pictures, I was able to get it, but I have tried to thread this thing like 5 times now, and I've only got it to thread twice. In our last package, I got this cute little travel kit. This reminded me of like a makeup compact, and I thought it was really cute. They had one in a heart shape as well, but it is a cute little mini. It actually reminds me a lot of like a Polly Pocket. That's so cute. I am loving this thing so much more than I thought I would, actually. These are like even smaller than that first pair that we pulled out. Where did it go? Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Those are so different in size, but they're so cute. Now I gotta see if these ones are gonna cut any thread. Based upon the other two, I think this one will probably do a good job. And they cut just like the other ones. The only thing is that since they're so tiny, it's actually hard to kind of open them as much as you need to be able to fit the thread in there. Okay, and then the rest of this kit, we've got some thread, which comes on a spool that is on plastic. And it's got a couple of buttons if you lose a button and you need something now, and some snaps. Oh, that one is not made to come out. That one just pushes up. Okay, that's interesting. Couple of needles here with the snaps and the buttons. And we've got a safety pin, which is always helpful to have on hand. And then another needle threader. I can't get these things out. We got tweezers. They're hard to hold because they have nothing to grip on. So it's just this piece of metal and my fingers keep slipping on it. So these are maybe not ideal, but again, they would do in a pinch. Okay, so then we have our needle threader. And this does not come out, but we've got a couple of pins here. This is such a cute little case. I'm actually really excited for this one. I think this is gonna go great in my bag. It is tiny, so it fits really well. It's not gonna take up a lot of extra room, and it's really not that heavy. I think this one is a win. Let me know in the comments which tools you would use. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.